Happy Friday. It's Juliette Leiden here from Juliette and Company at Compass. Welcome to Favorite Folks Fridays. And today we are meeting Melyssa Scott of Scout and Cellar. And welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I am dying to hear, hold on one second. I thought I had it. Show. There it is.
Yay.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself,
Sure.
about the company, and well, first tell us about you, and we'll get into Scout and Cellar and positively why.
Sure. So, like I said, my name is Melyssa Scott. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I've got two little kids, and I am extremely passionate about small businesses. I grew up. My mother was a florist. My father unfortunately passed away when I was young, and she grew up. She owned her own business, and being in a small business is super passionate for me. And so that's why I have my own business too. I absolutely grew up with the entrepreneur attitude, and I love it. And when I realize when we're doing so much networking and meeting other people, there are so many small businesses out there. So I really appreciate you taking the time to feature folks and talk about businesses, because it really makes a difference to our community.
Oh, definitely. Okay, so let's get right to the crux of things. Tell me about Scout and Cellar, and what's this business with the wine revolution?
Sure. So I work with a company called Scout and Cellar. Like you said, sometimes people call it Scott and Cellar. I'm like, hey, I'm fine with that. We're just over a year and a half old. And what we are a clean crafted wine company. We are an education based company that we are passionate about our wines. So, like I said before, small business is so important for me. That's what we do. We source clean wine from small family owned vineyards and deliver it direct to the consumer. So not only are you getting clean crafted wines, which I'll tell you what those are too, we are supporting small family businesses throughout the world. You get to enjoy wine that's cleaner, healthier, better for you, as well as helping the small business, small family, put food on their table, literally making a difference in the world. So what clean crafted is, it's our trademark term. And that means all the wines are lab tested to meet our very strict standards. So our standards are the wine must be organic, non-GMO, and vegan, no added sugar, no added chemicals, and no synthetic pesticides, not mass produced. So that graphic showing right there tells exactly what is in our wine, just grapes. So a lot of people have reactions like to wine. Do you ever have a wine headache or a wine flu?
Yeah,
Probably know someone who has, right?
yeah, I'm sure I have. I don't know if it's because of the wine, but or volume.
Well, it's most likely from all the added chemicals and junk in your wine. So you can see with the mass-produced wine, what's in there. If you look at any bottle of wine, there's no ingredient label on there. They don't have to tell you what's in there. There's up to 250 different chemicals in your wine, gobs and gobs of sugar, like 16 grams of sugar. That's like a donut in your wine. I'm like, personally, I'd rather have my wine with a donut. You know what I mean?
Totally. Now we're talking.
Yeah, right. So, and synthetic pesticides. So when people have a reaction to wine, like the headache or the stuffiness or the congestion, most likely they're having a reaction to what's in there, and it's not the wine itself. There's so many chemicals out there, and I encourage everyone to do your research. Google it, Mrs. YouTube it, check it out there, because there's so much out there that talks about what's in your wine, and people just really don't know.
And so tell me,
I think I lost you there, but is your wine vegan? So this is a very interesting
wine
thing
business.
that you wouldn't even think about. That most wines, most mass-produced wines are not vegan. Think about it. A mass-produced company, what they want to do is they want to get wine on the store shelf the fastest, easiest, and least expensive way, right? So they do whatever they can to ferment the wine quickly and get it on that store shelf so that the customer can consume it. So when they say, is your wine vegan? Your wine may have come in contact with animal byproducts, egg whites, fish guts, like isinglass, blood, bone marrow, you name it. Google it. It is out there. And now my husband, he's a scientist, so he was like, I need to see the proof in the pudding here. Is this actually what's happening? And he said, we did all the research, and there's actually a medical study out there that talks about egg whites in your wine, that if you, or have touched your wine, if you have a severe egg allergy, would you have a reaction to your wine and you wouldn't even know about it? And the answer is possibly.
Oh,
If the vineyard, right, if the vineyard is bottling their wine consciously, then you should be fine. But if they're not, you could be having a reaction to your wine, a food allergy reaction, and you don't know it. So
or if the vineyard is bagging your box of wine.
yeah. It's the same with if you have a fish allergy or a gluten allergy, severe allergy, you could be having a reaction to your wine. And so with our company, with Scout and Cellar, we were born, like I said, a year and a half ago. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we came into fruition. The owner, her name is Sarah Shatnick. She's a lawyer turned level 3 sommelier. So she's a wine geek through and through, right? Like wine is so fun. And when she was taking her exams to become a level 3 somm, she was getting those wine headaches. So she put her lawyer skills to work to figure out why is this happening. And that's when she learned about all the added sugar, all the chemicals and pesticides, and that was what was giving her the wine headaches. And she's like, this can't be happening. And if you go to Europe,
unacceptable.
Right, it is unacceptable, but you don't think, it's one of those things you just don't think about it.
Yeah.
Right? Like myself, I'll be 41 next month, and I developed all these food allergies in the past few years out of nowhere. Like literally, I grew up on Pop-Tarts and Kool-Aid. I don't know about yourself, but right?
Exactly.
But I never paid attention to what I was eating or drinking until my body told me I had to. And that's when I learned about our food industry and the beauty industry and the wine industry and the lack of transparency.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And okay, so tell me a little bit about what kind of business model that this is, and how long has it been around?
We started August 31st, 2017, so just over a year and a half old.
Oh wow! And so, so the woman who founded this, where is she from?
Texas.
Texas.
So we're based in Texas. Our warehouse is in Texas. It's so funny. So it's all direct to consumer through consultants like myself, and I work with everybody. And what happened is when the company was founded, it was meant to go in the store shelves. But what happens is people buy wine from the store based on the funny name and the pretty label, right? They don't know that it's clean. And so we pride ourselves on providing education and being transparent and authentic and passionate. As you can tell, I can jump out of my skin. I can talk about this forever, right? And so that's why it comes through people like us, because we can provide the education around it to let them know what's going on. And that's why we pride ourselves on being transparent. When you go to our website, you're going to look at each bottle of wine and we'll tell you exactly what's in there. If there's residual sugar, which is natural sugar, how it's farmed, a little bit about the vineyard, and everything is limited quantities because it's made the way nature intended it to be. We don't have the bottles coming in all the time. We usually get a few thousand bottles, and when it's gone, it's gone. And we wait for the next vintage to come in just the way nature intended it to be. It's super, super cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so let me see. Let me just put this on here so that we know. So explain to me what Positively Wine is.
Sure.
Is that's your page?
Sure. Positively Wine is my own brand. So like I said, because I am so passionate about small business, it literally helped put food on my table growing up as a child. That's why working in the wine industry and helping the small family vineyard, I get to give back to them too. So not only do I have my own small business, I am helping them with their small business because they make wine as an art form with passion and love that you can taste, right? It makes a difference. And we have wines from all over the world. And when you start, I think the wheels are turning, right? When you start to pay attention to what you're eating and drinking, you're like, I had no idea. I never looked at my bottle of wine before. I'm like, I know. And so that's what we try to do. And we say we're on a wine revolution. And what that means to us with our mission is that we're on a journey to discover the unknown good and share it along the way. Now, the unknown good is providing education and opening up discussions about the food industry and about the farm industry. It's super interesting. There's an article in CNN this past week that talked about how the insect population and the bee population is declining.
Yeah.
Now, you wouldn't really think about that too much because you're like, oh, good, there's less bugs in the summertime to bite me or whatever. But when you really think about it, when the pesticides use is decreasing the insect population, that affects the soil, which affects our food, which affects our trees, which affects the air. You're right when you start thinking.
Yeah, it does. I mean, those honeybees, I'm telling you.
Right.
Big.
Right. So that's what I mean. I'm like, it's a lot more than just a wine company. It's effectuating a change in the world. And I talk about, where you choose to spend your dollars is really the choice of where you're making, of what type of world you want to see in the future.
Yes.
So it's
Awesome.
super cool.
No, that's so exciting, and I'm so thrilled that you're here and sharing this with everyone. I do want also people to hit your Instagram account. I think if you sort of Google or go on Facebook, Instagram, and input Positively Wine, I think that's very memorable. They'll find you, right?
Thank you. Yes, that is my Instagram. I put Positively Wine because I try to live my life in the most positive way possible to help other people and to network. I mean, we're all on this planet.
I don't know how to do the hard thing of giant man hands, so I'm skipping away.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And so basically in the wine industry, I work with everybody. I work with people like yourself. I work with realtors, event planners, personal chefs. I mean, there's wine at every event you go to. And we really help people with food allergies or with if they're vegan, to pay, like they're paying attention. So with us, you can order wine directly through myself and you can have it shipped direct to your house, or we do wine tasting. I think you showed one of those amazing pictures of my friends and I had a wine tasting, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah, that's so great.
Yeah.
So I also, I was just sort of thinking, there is a woman, her name is Linda Sheehan, who does a lot of clean eating type of stuff. I think she's a chef and sort of a wellness guru. I'd love to connect you with her, but I also imagine yoga studios, all those very clean living people, and on top of entrepreneurs as well.
You got it.
So will you do me a favor? Will you send me that link too? I'd love to share that article from CNN or that story, and we'll include it underneath. What I did not prepare is to compile the people who tagged the Positively Wine thing for you to give away. So we'll add that to the story as well. Okay, awesome. Any parting words that you want to share?
I also like to say that I work with a lot of businesses to help them stay top of mind with their customers.
Yeah,
like insurance companies, brokers, stuff like that, because they want to provide a value and service to their customers. So they do wine tastings or purchase wine to give to their customers. I'm happy to work with them and provide personal recommendations on anything like that. Reach out with any questions. I could talk about this for years. I swear you can tell.
We should do it over wine.
Yeah, exactly. We have wine from all over the place. Just one other thing. So the wine that we have is this is our label. It's called Middle Jane. Now the owner, Sarah, that I referenced, all the women in her family have the middle name Jane. So everything has a story. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I love that.
The stories there, and this is one of ours, says Field House as well. This is the house that she grew up in. Now they had to tear it down, and when they tore it down, she took pieces of it, and it's in a warehouse. So,
that's great.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I love things like that.
Yeah,
I really do.
We're having a blast. This is fun, and I'd love to work with anyone. And thank you so much for bringing me on.
Thanks. I appreciate you coming. Talk to you soon, Melyssa. Well, that wraps up another Favorite Folks Friday. Thank you, Melyssa Scott, for joining us. Do make sure to visit positivelywine.com to learn more. And if you want to host an event or order some wine, make sure you visit her there. Until next week, thanks for stopping by Favorite Folks Fridays. Bye.